Hello, thanks for stopping by. Today I have for you 10 cards, 1 kit featuring the Love from Lizi February 2018 card kit. Here's the full kit and here's some of the cards we'll be making today. Our first card is a simple, thin shaker card. Now, I say thin because this is super flat that you can send through a regular, legal size envelope and put it in the mail without extra bulk. For this card, I used a 6x6 striped paper, and it's not long enough, so I meet up the ends because this card measures 4 tall, 8 long. And you worry about the stripe to meet up, but you don't have to worry so much about the confetti because it's confetti and it's going to be covered by our shaker. For our shaker, I'm going to use some mesh instead of acetate to create our window. So just keep that in mind. First, to hide our seams here, I've used some of the thin black ribbon that came in the kit. I used some of the Nouveau glue that Lizi carries in her shop. And I went ahead and adhered that, set it to the side to dry. Our background for our shaker is one of the cut aparts. It's square, but I cut it with my round die, and I used the same die to cut my window, which I am using some really strong tape to adhere as well as some of this crystal glue to adhere my mesh on top. Because it's fabric, it needs to make sure it sticks. I'm adding the sequins and a little bit of extra glitter from my stash. The sequins came from the kit, which coordinates beautifully, and Lizi did a great job putting it together. I cut off anything extra that was overhanging. I'm sticking down now my shaker with some of that crystal Nouveau glue again. And I love it because it holds perfectly, it dries clear. I'm also using it to attach some of the thin green ribbon to each end just as a little extra pizzazz. I'm also using some of the peel-offs, but I'm not using it as a usual peel-off. What I'm doing is on the little bottom end, I punched 2 hearts and I'm gluing them on top of those little ribbons just as a nice decorative touch. There it is, our first card. Card number 2 will feature the balloon stamps. I'm using the plain balloon stamps, none of just the solid, well, it's not plain, it's decorative on the edges, I should say. I'm using a yellow cardstock base, some chalkboard floral black, and I'm using the balloons more as a decorative feature rather than balloons. I'm going to create sort of I guess a fan effect, or is the best way to describe it, but it's going to be a nice little embellishment to anchor our sentiment. So I'm going to put, the best way I describe it is like the fan effect. I put one balloon facing down, one balloon facing up, and one facing straight. This way, it fans out nicely. On the other side, since our balloon are this nice soft green, I'm using the green ribbon and some peel off to accentuate the card. Also, because we have our sentiment that has the gold, I wanted to make sure the gold was balanced. I also cut 3 strips of the gold lame, or that liquid ribbon colored gold ribbon, into about 2-inch strips pieces, and I fishtailed the ends. I'm adhering those with some really small micro glue dots, or they're not glue dots, I guess they're thermoweb dots or zots or something. Any of those would work. Either way, I'm going to pop up our sentiment with some pop stops, and I'm going to place that right over that balloon that goes straight forward, and that would be our second card. It's so quick, so simple. You can easily do this for anyone. And it says, wonderful for you, not just birthday. Our next card will be on a black base, and I'm using a wood veneer from my stash that says happy. I'm applying the gilding flakes to it, and I'm using the firm paintbrush to brush anything off. Now while I set that aside, I'm going to pull out the components for our card. I'm going to use the striped the striped paper that came in the 6x6. It starts out in various colors, but it has separation of the faux foil. I'm going to use some of the peel-offs to accentuate that because it doesn't have enough oomph, I think. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pull out three. We're going to fill those three little gaps that have those faux gold foil. Now, here, somewhere along the line, my lamp fell and startled me, and I guess it turned off my camera. But either way, this is what happened. I cut the from a cut apart. I removed four of the candles. I put them two flat, two popped up, sort of wonky there. I also used from that same cut apart the happy. I fishtailed that, and I added some gold chevrons to the bottom to accentuate. For our next card, I'm cutting various lengths of ribbon, and I cut them in, fishtail the ends. I also used a cut apart, which says "Be Dazzling." I used one of the gold paper clips, which I'm attaching with the, I'm showing you my tiny attacher there, and that puts out silver staples, so I just colored it with my Copic. You could use a Bic. And now I'm attaching this to the card with some pop dots because of the paper clip. It's raised. Now, these various strips of paper that you'll see on the top are from the chalkboard paper that has the speech bubbles and various icons. The other side is striped, so I cut those into little strips to mimic my ribbon. I also have the strips of ribbon in the black, the pink, the thin green, and the yellow. Well, basically all the colors in the kit because there's the gold as well. I'm adhering them from the top down in various lengths. Like I said, fishtailing it, and there I'm showing you that it's just the chalkboard side. And this is a simple, quick and easy card that you can put together for a birthday or just a quick hello for someone, just telling them to be dazzling, to be amazing today. Everybody needs those little words of encouragement. Although this is themed as a birthday kit, is not necessarily a birthday kit. So back to our card. I cut off only of the extra ribbons and card strips that were left, and my pink ribbon started to fray. Here's the tip: you put a little bit of that clear Nouveau glue because it dries clear. It'll stop the fraying quick. Now, Lizzie provided bubblegum Nouveau drops. From my stash, I pulled in dandelion and gold, or classic gold. So I'm going to use them here to put three drops, two clusters of three, I should say, one by the yellow ribbon and one just above our little diamond paper clip, just to add to the card, give it a little extra something. Next, although it says "Be Dazzling," it's not very dazzling. So I pulled out the Wink of Stella pen and I just went over it, and now it's dazzling. There it is, simple, quick, and dazzling. Our next card is going to use two stamps. It's going to use the ribbon or the tail for your balloon and the number 2. The tail will be our stem, the 2 will be our leaves for our heart flowers. These heart flowers will be coming from our sticker book. So I used a cracked pistachio to stamp out the stems and the leaves. Used the sticker book, pulled out the hearts, pulled 4 out. 2 are popped up, 2 are flat. From my stash, I pulled out some darker pink cardstock to match the darker pink flowers in this white. Well, it's seen throughout the kit. You'll have a darker pink. I wanted to bring that in this here. For our sentiment, the enjoy comes from a cut apart. I cut just that part out and saved the rest for something else, for another card. And the everyday comes from the sticker book, which we're going to pop up to add to enjoy every day. This is a very simple, very fun, using your stamps in a different way. Number 2 turned into leaves. It's just a fun card. This is just a nice way to tell someone, take time to enjoy the little things. Our next card here is the Fabulous card. This one is totally fabulous. We're using the big wood diamond and the banner die to create little banners for our card, and this little banner punch cuts out little stars. So I cut 3 banners, one out of dark based floral, the glitter, and of yellow. For our base card, I'm having that quilted black with the little pink flowers, adhering our wood veneer diamond with the crystal glue. The lame ribbon is getting some of that as well. And here's the banners. I'm going to put a little pop dot on the ends just to give it a little lift, but I'm using the Nuva Glow on the end here. I'm inlaying back the stars, but I'm mixing them up, so some will have glitters, some will have solid colors. From the chalkboard paper, I cut out 3 chalkboard stars, and then from the sticker book, I removed 3 stars, and I adhere those next to the chalkboard stars. From the sticker book, I pulled out the word fabulous, and I'm adding it to the banner that comes with the diamond. I put a peel off on the bottom to accentuate that, and there you have it. I glued that on. Well, actually, here's what I'm showing you. I'm taking the stars and gluing them here, the gold stars, but added the peel off to the bottom of that banner, and there you have a fabulous card. This could be for every day. This one, when I created it, I thought of my husband. I'm using green base, which is his favorite color, and I'm using that chalkboard or matte cardstock that we have in there, and I'm going to put the tone-on-tone yellow on top, some white to bring in to break it up, to hide those seams. I'm going to add a little peel off to that white to accentuate it. This hello comes from the chalkboard speech bubble paper, which speech bubbles and various icons. I took the hello, I cut off the speech bubble tail, because that's where I'm going to add my little mustache. The mustache comes from the sticker book. It's this cute little gold mustache, and my husband has a mustache. Well, he has a full beard goatee thing, but anyway, he does have a mustache. And I'm adding the mirrored chevrons to accentuate the mustache. And here's a tip. I use my acrylic block to keep my chevron straight. I added the little gold dewdrops and a bubblegum blush over the heart. And to make the heart stay as heart, I just ran my pokey tool through it. Our next card is the Flying By to Say Hi card. I'm going to use 2 of the stamps. The solid balloon, the Flying By to Say Hi balloon, and fossilized amber, cracked pistachio, and worn lipstick. I'm also going to be using the gilding flakes here, rubbing them on. I started out with a soft brush, and I ended up using a firmer brush to get it off. It gave it more of that distressed look I was looking for to match the chalkboard background. I do like that these distress inks match this chalkboard paper that we have in this kit beautifully. Okay, back to the card. Here we go. The black paper is that layering beautiful handmade paper we have in the card, in the kit, not in the card. I'm adding a little pop dot behind my little flower, the top flower here. I've fussy cut my balloons out now that they're dry, and I popped up only the pink one because that's the one with the sentiment on it. Excuse me, I'm adding some of the the peel offs as my strings. Now, the little heart is actually like a little tag, so I strung the little peel offs through there, and I added a little glue, adhered the heart down, and accentuated the flowers with some Nuvo drops. Our next card is on the pink base, and I'm using one of the cut aparts. I used the cake one on the platter, and I cut it in long ways. I'm using some of the leftover confetti paper on either side, as well as some of the thicker peel-offs with it. A piece of my dark pink cardstock. On top of that, I'm adding a black piece of a thin black ribbon to anchor our sentiment. I had stamped off and off to dry the birthday hat that says it's your birthday party. It's your birthday, actually. It says, I think I want a party. And I'm going to use and cracked pistachio, and I'm going to add that. And it says, it's your birthday, hooray. The hooray comes from the sticker book, and I'm putting it on a Pop-Tart to raise it nicely. I'm also using the Nouveau drops to add, accentuate the cake, tone on tone, and the gold for the candles. Our last card is a pop-up or pull-up card. Yes, I use the stickers from the sticker book. No, the color it stickers, and I colored those with my Spectrum Noirs. I stamped several of these gifts. I'm only using one as my top feature, but the rest I cut and stuck behind the stickers, as well as the party hats and the balloons. I also stamped and fussy cut all those, and I layered this as a cluster. I need this cluster, which I'm using as a table. You know how you have all those gifts on the table? That's what this is, to hide my balloon mechanism that comes out. There you have the balloons. Now, to create my mechanism, I use that little centerpiece from the die, and I'm using one of these baby buttons that I've had for eons in my stuff, because we used to have these, use them for cards and scrapbooks and such as my mechanism, because I don't have that fancy mechanism thing. Anyway, I'm also creating some confetti falling down, and I'm using the balloon strings for my confetti, as well as some of the extra stickers, star stickers, and some of the stars left over from the banners I cut earlier. Now, for my pulley, I'm using the happy birthday and a star from the sticker book, and that's going to be my sentiment. But when you pull up on that star and sentiment, you get the balloons that pop up that say happy birthday to you. To anchor all this, I used a little leftover piece of the black and white stripe and a simple black piece. Thank you for watching. I'm so glad you stopped by. Visit me at my website, on my blog, I should say, to see these up close. Also visit Lizi's website to order your